This is Women Who Build Empires, a podcast celebrating women entrepreneurs and thought leaders who are turning the tables on outdated old school belief systems and building business empires that align with who they are, how they work, and how they are leaving a lasting legacy. And I'm your host, Emmy Kirschner, serial entrepreneur, investor, and business consultant for ambitious women entrepreneurs who are boldly taking their business to the next level. In each episode, you're going to get to know the women who are unafraid to put it all on the line as they share the stories of how both success and failure have helped them become incredible CEOs. Hello, Empresses. I knew today was going to be a good show when I almost forgot to hit record because my guest today, Dina Buchanan, and I were laughing so much in our pre-chat. And Dina is an incredible person. She is a real estate investor, but she's also the director of business strategy for the high-end client program, which specializes in helping business owners, contractors, and entrepreneurs generate more quantity and quality high-end clients. She is so knowledgeable and incredibly diverse, and I loved that she shared with us her strategy for thriving after failure and the mindset that you want to develop to let go of control, stop DIYing it, and reduce stress, even if you are a super type A person just like me. Dina, welcome, and why don't you introduce yourself? You'll do it better than I, and I love your backstory. So that's some of what I'd love for you to share.
Absolutely. So I am Dina Buchanan. I am the director of business strategy for high-end client program. I'm also a real estate investor, motivational speaker, trainer, coach. I've got life coach and psychology backgrounds. And how did I get here and what did I do is kind of interesting. My husband and I, when we first got married, we both had college degrees. We both did the whole go out there, get a job, get the education, get the good job. And we did that. And we discovered a couple things. One, even though we both chose careers that we liked, it wasn't 100% fulfilling. And two, the reason it wasn't is because we really didn't feel like we owned our time. Mm-hmm. We felt like kind of a slave to a schedule. And we both had other things that we really enjoyed doing. And we're very helpful people. So we tried to put our heads together and think about, well, what could we do? And we ended up falling into real estate investing because we both loved houses. We both loved real estate. And we thought, you know what, this is something that we could do. We thought like as a side hustle, and coming from a family who came from a business background, my grandparents immigrated from Italy, right? So if you think about that, when they came over, they really weren't hiring people from other countries, especially people that didn't even speak English. So the only option was open a business. And they did. What could they do? They could cook and they could create a restaurant and they could create a bar and that's what they did. My dad followed in those footsteps. And so it's interesting that I just naturally thought I would have a business because I grew up with, you had a business.
Right. That's what you did.
Yeah, it's just what you do. So I think I'm the first person in my family to actually have gone to school and gotten a college degree. That being said, fast forward, Eric, my husband and I, we started doing real estate investing, and I got approached by the company that taught me and mentored me and said, you have a gift you need to teach. You and your husband both need to teach other people how to do this. Mm-hmm. And so interestingly enough, I remember saying to them, when I started, I said, hey, who's our focus group for education? Do we talk to women? Right. And they're like, well, we talk to men and women. I'm like, yeah, but do we focus solely on women investors? And what does that look like? And one of my mentors, her name is Jill Fielding. She's from the UK. She created a brand that her and I did. And we taught it in Australia and in the UK and the US called Women in Wealth. And it was way before its time. It was like probably 2008, 2009. I know it was right around 2009 that we actually launched because 2008, we were going to launch, but I got pregnant with my son. So I couldn't do that kind of traveling. it wasn't that I didn't want to. It was just like, well, that would be a little much. So it was right around 2009. So it was a little before its time, meaning, I don't know that the companies were really ready for it. And, but it was an amazing experience. And I met so many amazing entrepreneurial women. And I consider that to be an honor to be an entrepreneur and be a woman and be a leader and be in a leadership position. I think that's really huge to know that A, it's possible, and B, it's so needed.
Yeah.
As I was just telling you, like, we have an amazing leadership team at High End Client, and just a culture of respect and love, and, everyone's best interest at heart for ourselves on the team, and also for our clients. And I think that's a big part of the recipe for our success, is that kind of respect and admiration for the gifts that we all bring.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's basically how I started. And being able to go around the world really and speak in different countries, and mostly in US, Canada, and UK, has been an amazing journey, and you meet the most amazing people. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love to be a part of businesses that change people's lives, men and women for sure.
Yeah.
But I do focus some of my personal projects also on women-based organizations. Like I was telling you about a group of women called Invest Her, and it's a great group. Google them. All support for women who want to do real estate investing as a business. So really fun, amazing life that I have been so blessed with for, I don't know what reason, but I'm just grateful.
Well, I'm sure it's been time, effort, consistency.
Oh yeah.
The other things that go with creating success.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten my kicks in the pants and the teeth and all those things too, and
Yeah.
it wasn't smooth sailing for sure. We had many successes, we had failures. Thank goodness the successes were more than the failures. But even, it's kind of like what you and I were talking about, sometimes when you have those failures, even after you have a series of successful things, you get a little gun shy. And I just want to encourage everybody not to do that. Like, go at this as if, you're 10 years old again, and you're just going for it, and
Yeah. One of the things I love to do with my clients, when they're hesitating or they've had an epic failure and they're a little afraid to get back on the bike.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what's the worst case scenario game? And back that up to whatever, like, so they can't go anymore. And once they understand that even in the worst case scenario, things really aren't that bad.
Right.
Like, it's not good. Like you may be living with somebody that you don't want to live with in an ideal situation, but you're still there doing the thing, and it's okay. Like, life is okay. It really opens them up for, oh, well, let's get back on the bike and take this on again.
Exactly.
And look at the challenges or what didn't work from a place of curiosity instead of fear.
Yep.
Yeah.
And your survival rate's 100%.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
You survived it. I mean, doesn't mean it was pretty.
No, it doesn't have to be pretty.
It doesn't mean it was like, awesome. But here's the cool thing about it. It does make us awesome.
Yeah.
Because our pain at some point can help heal someone else, or can help even prevent an injury to somebody else, that maybe hasn't had those experiences yet, or is just embarking on the journey that you've been on. That's where coaches and mentoring are huge.
I totally believe that you need at least one person and really several people outside of yourself to help guide you in all areas.
Yeah.
I agree. Just bounce things off of.
Big believer in mentorship, coaching teams. I think that's I get asked a lot, what do you think makes business owners successful? And that's, I work with business owners, with high-end with our clients every day, like I was just telling you. And one of the number one things I think is having a plan, right? Having a system, or talking to people about their systems and how you can implement something similar, and getting that coaching and mentoring from someone outside your circle, I think is really important, because people inside our circle, they know who we were, but a lot of times they don't know who we are or our goal of who we want to become. Right.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes they're jaded. And so their advice might be for the you that's 1.0 and you're now 2.0. Your version of you is different. So that advice isn't applicable anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where mentorship and good guidance. And I think that's really important for business owners,
Yeah.
particularly women business owners, because we are, as women, have this track, I think, at least I know I do, where I got to do it myself.
Mm-hmm. Far too long in the DIY stage.
Yep. I got to get it done myself. If it is to be, it's going to be up to me. And, I said to one of my business partners, I said, and that's great to know that you're that much of a badass, that you can do it yourself. Like that's a really good confidence builder. And I truly don't believe we were meant to. I don't think any of us are meant to do this journey alone in any way, shape, or form, because we are so much more together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the sum of our parts, right,
Mm-hmm.
is greater than the whole, the sum of the whole, right? So
Yeah.
I think that right there is a huge, amazing opportunity when you're in business. And I encourage that wholeheartedly, get some resources, get some tools, because that will definitely help build your confidence too.
Yeah. And I think particularly when you start delegating out the things that you're not great at, getting those people in your support team who are excellent at that thing, like it creates a different relationship. And what you said, like you're so much better off because they're going to create something and add more value than what you could have done on your own.
Oh my gosh, 100%. Technologically competent.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'll say, right? Which is interesting that I'm part of an organization who is like ridiculously tech savvy, amazing, right?
Right.
I've learned a ton from being with everybody on my team doing that, right? But the pieces that I need in my business, I hire out to all those tech gods and goddesses because that's what they do, right? They're the experts at that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better with the people, with my customers, with my clients, and that's where I shine. And honestly, it's what I love. So why wouldn't I want to do what I love to do and do it best, right? And
Absolutely.
hire out the best. And there's something beautiful about being able to have that outsourcing opportunity and connect it that way.
Yeah. And you're doing a lot of different things on any given day, from the
Oh
coaching,
yeah.
speaking,
Mm-hmm.
like how do you set yourself up for success to manage all of that and not be, I guess, an overwhelm or burnout or confusion
Well,
of
you
the
know
thing
what?
you're doing on which day?
Some days I am. Some days. And I think it's important that everybody know this, that even with the success that we're in the moment, have those days. Today was was starting out like a day like that. It was like boom, 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 different things to do. And I just looked at it and I started laughing and I said, you know what? Everything on my list today is something I love to do. How great is that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all going to work out just perfectly. And so far, I don't know what time are we at? Yeah, it has so far. We still have more hours to go yet. I still have a few more hours to get crazy, but
Well, I would say, and Mercury's in retrograde as we're recording this, so
oh my
anything
gosh,
can go wonky. But
I totally forgot about that, and that is a real thing, people. Let's not even
it is
underestimate that.
so a real thing, and it just
So a
reminds
real
me,
thing.
go with the flow, like just what we were saying before about the
Yep.
flights and control and everything. Like,
Yeah.
just you have to go with the flow because, and this is what we were talking about before. Like, you can't control everything.
No. And you brought up Mercury in retrograde, and I actually read this really cool piece on that recently. And it's a perceived retrograde. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know that when I read it. I didn't realize it was perceived. Like it's not really going backwards. It's just the way it looks when we're looking at it in the sky. It's perceived to be going backwards. So no planet goes backwards. So this is another, to your point, our perception can equal our reality, right?
Right.
So if we perceive that we've got all this control, which we don't have, that's when we get an overwhelming chaos.
Yeah.
But when we realize, you know what, life is going to throw some things at us. But I think your words were, we don't have a control over that, but we do have control over the choices.
Yeah, we have choice
Around it, right? We have a choice. Mm-hmm. So we can choose to be overwhelmed, or we can choose to look at it like, hey, isn't it cool? I have all these opportunities today, and I'm just going to enjoy every bit of them and have fun with it, and trust that my survival rate thus far has been 100%, and we'll make it work.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have to know how, because how many times in our lives have things appeared or worked? We found a way where there wasn't a way before.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know what happened, but it's going well. So I'm just going to bask in the glory.
Totally. And not to mislead anybody, it's not like we probably don't have a plan. I mean, I have a planner right here, that of what I'm supposed to think I have control over every day. It's kind of my outline of what my day might look like if all goes the way I want it to go, right?
I have my planner that I created and is on the website. And yeah, some days things work out and something but that's, I think it's having the intention and being conscious and focusing on the priorities. Yep. And then taking everything else and just, as I said, just going with it.
Yeah. I love that word that you used, intention. I actually like it better than goals.
I do too, because goals feel so hard.
Yeah.
And boring.
And have to.
Yeah. And I don't want to have to anything.
I know. I feel the same way. I love the word intention. There's freedom in that word. There's a freedom to just be who you are in that moment, like you said, because we've got our day and we've got our day planned. And truly, as business owners, for sure, there are things we have to get done. Absolutely.
Right.
And we know that there are things that, even though we want them to get done, they might not that point in time. So just understanding that our intention is to do it gives us freedom to not get overwhelmed and not get caught up in the insanity cycle, right? Where or the beat up cycle. Because I think that's the danger with goals. I think when you don't hit a specific goal on a specific day and time, like you say you were, there's almost like a punishment element or a consequence that's not going to be helpful.
Yeah. And I like to set big goals that feel unreachable, not so that I actually get to them, but so that I get farther than I would have otherwise. Because it really, it forces my brain to think differently. And that's what I do with my clients.
I love that. That is really powerful. I was just doing a coaching call literally before we got on, and I was coaching one of my team members he was doing a consultation, because we do a lot of, we have like what we call breakthrough sessions for our clients coming in, for business owners. And one of the things that we talked about was just being able to give the person that opportunity to see the hope. And it comes down to the mindset piece. Like if your mindset is, I can't do this, this is too hard, or I can't afford it, or it's beyond my reach, so I'm not even going to look there, to your point, you've just taken away every opportunity that you had of reaching that stretch mark, right? That point that you think you couldn't get to. And I think we do that to ourselves, and it's kind of self-sabotage when you think about it. Whereas if we look at just the difference in, well, how could I do it? Like, not saying I can, but what else is possible? Like the third option, or whatever phraseology, hits home with you, gives us the extra room to grow. But if we take that away, we don't have any chance, right? Then it's like, it's never going to happen. So I love that. I love giving myself that extra space.
Yeah, I don't feel like everything has to be jammed into complete concreteness.
Right.
And not, again, saying that I don't look at numbers and we're not making tactical, strategic decisions. But there's always some give, for me, at least.
Yeah, there has to be, right? Like your yoga pants, right? Or your body pants. Gotta have give. Can't do those big stretch moves without them.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Gotta have all that.
Yeah, I want to pivot a little bit and talk about high-end client and what you're
Yeah,
doing and
sure.
how you're helping people and lead
Yeah.
gen in general, because I know for a lot of business owners, like
Uh-huh.
that's the perplexing thing. It's like, how do I get more clients without
Yes.
sounding salesy, without being inauthentic, without cold calling, just
That's a
randomly,
big
like,
one.
right? Like
Yeah.
being strategic
Yep.
and being meaningful.
Getting in front of your target audience, I think
Right.
also, I
Yeah.
think that's the big thing. The business owners that I talk to, it's kind of what I think makes us different is we help our business owners focus on getting in front of their target audience. And we're very strategic about that. We've got a system that works 100% of the time, customized. We use it in our business, and our calendar is constantly booked with our ideal clients. So our program is high-end client because we actually bring clients to our clients. So they get to experience first with us. We do something unique. We do a breakthrough session because we want to get to know the business owners that could be coming to work with us and make sure it's a right fit. Because if we aren't a right fit for them or they're not for us, we let them know right away and we point them to resources that could help them. Because we know that if they've got, and a lot of it for us is the mindset, committed to change, committed to doing something different,
Mhm.
because it is different what we do. It's unique. So people that are committed to changing and committed to growing, that's who we want to work with. That's our number one, right? And even beyond, compensation, I think that's number one because it's got to be a right fit. Otherwise, nothing's going to work.
Right, right.
So what we do is we help them during these breakthrough sessions identify areas in their business of why maybe their clients aren't coming to them as readily. And when I say coming to them, when you set up a business masterfully, the way Kent Littlejohn, our CEO, has, we have clients come to us like hundreds every week that are our ideal clients that we want to work with, that we want to talk to. And so this is something that can be done. A lot of people don't realize it can be done. So setting people up for success starts with, well, where are the holes? What things need to happen in order for you to get there? Because
Right.
it's probably more than just the lead gen, right? That could be, that's a symptom of a bigger problem maybe in the business. And so we want to be hands-on because otherwise it would be kind of like putting a band-aid on something that needs stitches
Hmm.
and it wouldn't work. So that's one of the reasons we do this. We get to know our clients before we invite them to come and work with us. And when they do, they get to experience hands-on help. We build and customize a system with them, for their business that generates their ideal clients or their high-end clients. So if somebody was a real estate agent and they were looking for, higher end clients that wanted to sell multi-million-dollar listings, we could help them do that. If there's somebody that was in insurance and they wanted particular clients, we can help them do that. I worked with two amazing ladies yesterday that have a women-owned business, and it's an accounting firm. And their backgrounds are super, super unique. One has been a real estate investor for 30 years, and one worked on the legal side for 20 something years. So they're an amazing duo, and they're, looking for higher end clients for their business. So it could be any business. It doesn't have to be a specific, kind of business that we can help get in, decipher what's going on, customize a plan because everything's customized, customize the system and get it rolling. And, our clients experience results within getting clients in probably within the first 1 to 2 weeks of the program, which is pretty unique. It doesn't have to take
Wow.
months and years. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
pretty sexy.
it is. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't want an ROI like that? Right?
No,
Like
I
that's,
know for
you
sure.
can't, what other channel can you get that? Like that's not going to necessarily happen with ads. It's not going to
Right.
happen with SEO,
No,
right?
because I think one of the big things is with all of those other modalities is they're throwing it out to everybody, right? So it's like we're here talking on women-owned businesses, right? And really creating more. And so there's a specific audience that would really benefit from this. Now we can put it out to everybody. It's not that everybody couldn't benefit, but who benefits the most? Who can
Right.
you help the most, right? I think when we get to that place in our business, that's when we really have success. And we start talking to our targeted audience, the people that need us the most, you're going to have more wins there. There's going to be a lot more win-win, really win-win, not wins just one-sided, but win-win, I think is the best way to do business, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because it's relationships.
Yeah. It's all about relationships. Number one thing, right? And we've got to do well. And, Kent Littlejohn, our CEO, he's very passionate about helping people and helping business owners. And a lot of our clients are people that maybe are technologically challenged, and they count themselves out of the game because they feel like it's too late to learn, or it's too late to, get involved in something like that, or it's too overwhelming. And that's why we break it down in small digestible chunks so that anybody at any age, at any point in time in their life could come in and knock this out of the park.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, at least, while technology doesn't have to be the thing that you are a guru at,
Yeah.
if you want to be competitive, you have to understand at least what some of the options are, what's out there, what's happening, and not, again, how to use everything in detail, but know how it works so you can make smart decisions.
Absolutely.
Because
And that's a big piece.
Yeah, I hear a lot of women entrepreneurs like, I'm not good at money, I'm not good at numbers, and I'm not good at tech.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Yeah.
We hear that too. And here's the good news. You don't have to be. Like, this is what I love about the way we designed this, or the way Kent designed it, I should say, is you have programs out there, I think, that are a do-it-yourself, which work for a few people, some people, right? If you're a person that accountability and you've got some skill,
like less than 1% of all those DIY things get even opened. Like it's actually, I think 3% get opened and like gone through, and less than 1% are actually successful,
effective. Yeah. And then you've got the other side where you can pay someone, if a business owner can afford to pay someone to do it all for you. And we do have clients like that too. There are some clients that are of that mindset and need that, but those are also far and few between. The middle group, for the most part, they need it done with them. And one of the reasons we say done with you is because you have to have a little bit of knowledge to understand before you can even hire somebody to do it, right? Mm-hmm. Because otherwise you could be hiring out this section to somebody that you have no idea what they're doing and why they're doing it. You could be at a minimum wasting money, at a maximum hurting your business because they're doing it wrong, or putting the wrong messaging, or something like that. Whereas if you've got somebody that, now you understand how things should go, you're going to have a good understanding. I am not the CPA for my business. I'm not that person any way, shape, or form, but I know enough about it to know, right, what it needs to look like and what needs to be done so that I hire smartly and get the right person.
Right. Exactly what I believe.
Right. So I consider us the bridge to allowing business owners to really play their part in their business full out, the place that they're good at, the place that they shine, whether that's with the customers or with whatever part of their business. If they're a realtor, if they're an insurance agent, if they're owning the tax company, if they're a coach, a consultant, those strengths are where they should focus, because that's what's going to make their business successful. The other stuff, outsource.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So 100%.
Build the bridge.
At least with my clients too, a lot of times they're afraid of the sales. They're not loving the lead gen, but they don't want to let go of it. So having you as a partner really is a great asset, because you know what works.
Right. And this is the cool thing about this is everything we create with our clients, they own. Mm-hmm. So in other words, when we build their system, it's the framework is the exact system that we use in our business, but it's customized for their business. And so once they have it built, they own it forever. It's theirs forever. They're in charge of it. If they ever need any help, if they want to switch focuses, they just give us a call and we show them how to do it.
Part of what excites me about what you offer is one, the partnership piece, but you're really giving business owners the opportunity to grow and expand and make impact with the people that they want to make impact with.
I think so too.
And reach those intentions and goals.
Yes. The ones that we think are far out there, they're really not that far. They're really not that far out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's also, it's probably one of the biggest gifts I think we all get out of doing what we're doing is seeing our business owners that are super successful. We have so many amazing testimonials and success stories from our clients that a lot of them, get out the Kleenex, right? Because they were at a place in their business, they were at a place of giving up, and now they're flourishing. They're doing exactly what they want to do at a high level. And think about this, by them getting the help they needed, how many more people are they helping? Right? It's full circle, right? Because they got the help from us that they needed and the support that they needed. So now they can go out and do that for somebody else. They can do that for their customers, their clients. Yeah. And, amazing, just super fulfilling to be able to do that and know that our impact, it's kind of the ripple effect, the stone in the water, it makes that ripple effect.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I enjoy that as well. It feels really good, even though you don't know the 3 stones later, like, that it's there. And that's really cool.
It is cool. It is. I love that feeling. And I think, the people that all of us that get to experience that, we can feel very fulfilled on many levels.
Yeah. For somebody who's listening too, and they want to take advantage of a breakthrough call, how do they find out more about that?
So I've got a special link for you to go to, bookcallnow.com. And it'll link, if you heard it on this podcast, it'll be a complimentary 90-minute breakthrough session. So normally about $2,000 for a breakthrough session. So it's a complimentary, it's a $2,000 value. It's intense in a good way, because our consultants are going to ask you the hard questions. They're going to take a deep dive with you, but it's just you and them. So it's very personal. It's a very sacred setting. In our opinion, we like to keep it where it's very loving and very honest overview about where you are, what you need, and where you want to be. I think that piece right there is the kickstart to success. When you can take a look at yourself and you can look at someone that can help you, really guide you to getting exactly what you need. So that's what we offer. So bookcallnow.com, and we will take great care of you.
Awesome. How can businesses flourish in a challenging economy? What are your thoughts on
this economy?
Yeah, this economy, how to navigate it, because it's a little bumpy, but it's not.
Yeah. You know what?
Bad right this second.
I have seen a lot in my years. We lived through 2008 as a real estate investor or any real estate professional, any of those, 2008 for a lot of people was a horrible year. It was a great year for us. It was actually one of our best years in that business. And this is what I want to say that I think is the most encouraging thing right now is this can be an amazing opportunity to springboard your business. If you've heard or if you read, there were more at the time millionaires created during the Great Depression, which was some of the worst times economically in our country's history. Even worse than the recession, even worse than COVID, all that stuff. There were more millionaires created during that time. Mm-hmm. So I think this is what I would call an amazing business opportunity. In fact, I think Kent called it the great business transfer of all time. He said, this is going to be a time where we can really transition as business owners to leveraging and building. I think it starts now. I think if I were going to give a message to everybody out there, business owner wise, definitely the number one thing you want to do is start getting all of your ducks in a row. It's a great time to get mentorship coaching, huge right now, from somebody that's, going to be out, like we talked about, outside of who you were, and maybe somebody that is going in the direction you're going, or somebody completely, that's not attached to it, that can give you some really good feedback and a good, honest look from a different perspective. And I think that when we set ourselves up that way and we get a good plan together and put our intentions together, I think this can be a tremendous opportunity right now going forward. I'm actually very, very hopeful going forward. I think this is going to be really, really impressive time in history for small business owners. I think we're the ones that are going to carry the country through this.
I agree. And what you're saying aligns with my general school of thought as well. Some of it's just not focusing on the negative media stuff.
Yeah.
And seeking opportunity. Like it's okay to have that moment of like, oh crap, things aren't working. And then
right.
how do I fix it?
Mm-hmm. And who do I get to help me do it?
Yeah. Yeah. How do I shift? How do I serve my people in a better way? Right.
Yeah.
It's the quality of the questions.
I love that.
Yeah.
How do you serve your people in a better way? I love that. That's kind of like my motto when I get the honor of doing a breakthrough session. Like I said, my team does most of them, but I do some. But when I get the honor to do that, I really appreciate it because, what I can help somebody see what else is possible. And I will say this to your comment about the news. Keep in mind, I had a mentor in the business world tell me, be very, very careful who you're taking your advice and opinions from. Because I mean, think about it. If we were, taking real estate advice from one of the news anchors, well, how are they business owners? How many houses have they flipped? What do they really know? I mean, yeah, they go on a fact-finding mission, but is it fact? Is it opinion? Everybody's got an opinion. There's all of those things put in. I don't think anything is more powerful than the human spirit. And I think that we can create anything we want to create at any time,
right.
Regardless of the circumstances. And we've seen so many examples of that across the board, from people healing themselves to people having tremendous 0 to hero stories in their businesses and their lives. I think it's a huge opportunity right now. And I think the thing I would suggest is set yourself up, be smart, be very smart, and get yourself some guidance, some coaching, get yourself some systems, get help where you need it. And don't be afraid to invest money, time, energy into those resources. It's an investment in you and your business, and you are your best investment.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Absolutely. Dina, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been such an honor, and I love it. I love our conversation.
I do as well. So I'm so grateful. Share with everybody as we wrap up where they can connect with you.
You can book your call on bookcall.now.com. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Dina Buchanan. You'll see high-end client. I'm on Facebook too. So you can shoot me an email, and I think I have my email that you can put up on screen. I'd be happy to really be of assistance to anyone who would like to know more about how they can get their business going and generate some leads.
Awesome. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my hope that you find at least one nugget of value in each episode of Women Who Build Empires. And if that's true, please follow and share Women Who Build Empires with your friends and leave a review on Apple Podcast. Your support is what will help this podcast be found by more women just like you.